And Jenna, we're going to ask you a couple of questions. Look who's here with her, and Mary Lou Henner. That's my other surprise. Author, writer, producer, amazing, one of 12 in the world who has this. Well, the number keeps changing. I think it's dropping because I think you're number one. That's what I think. You are the person who has that amazing ability. So you're going to talk a little bit about that. But let's give it. So are you? Is there any cousin that you would really like to be related to? Sting.
Oh.
We're going to make that happen today. Okay. We're going to make it happen. Jenna, who would you like?
I haven't even thought about that. Let me think about it. I'll get you at the end.
All right.
I'll let you know at the end.
Without any further ado, Tom and I would like you.
I'm posing for pictures.
Tom and I would like to give it up for Mary Lou and Jenna, and so should you. Thank you.
Yay!
Okay, I'm so honored because Jenna said, I'd love you to come on stage and interview me, and I got so excited because I've not only been a huge fan for a very long time of yours, but you have such an amazing story.
Thank you. Thank you.
And you do so much with your story.
I try.
Yeah, so first of all, I want to find out why you felt it, like why you were excited about coming here today.
Well, I feel like, being here, like the global family reunion, I feel like I'm a walking family reunion.
Yes, you are.
Essentially, I was adopted from Korea at 3 months old. I grew up on Long Island with my Russian and Jewish father and my Irish and English mother and my half Puerto Rican brother. So essentially, we're like the United Nations in our home, but it's our cozy little family, and so I think.
Did you know it was unusual at the time? Or did you feel like, oh, my family's different from other families?
No, this is all I knew. I knew I didn't look like them, and I understood why, but it was very normal to me, and I luckily grew up in a very diverse community where that was accepted, which a lot of people don't feel that. So.
Right, and your parents always, according to everything I've read about you,
yes.
They always made it feel, it wasn't like some dirty little secret or some weird thing.
No, I was God's little gift, and I was their little gift, and I was brought to them because they wanted me. So,
yes.
it was always a positive sort of upbringing and experience.
Right, and you started so young. She was 9 years old when you first got on Broadway.
Yeah, I did The King and I at 9. I had done I've done about 100 commercials from the age of 3 until now, and that's where I started, and then went to school, Performing Arts High School, Performing Arts College, and then went to Spring Awakening on Broadway, and then off to Glee.
It's amazing, amazing to see. Yay, Glee! Woohoo! Okay, so did your parents know from the very beginning that you could sing and dance? I mean, is that how you walked around your house singing and dancing?
Yes, the We Sing videos when I was little with pots on my head and dancing around. I was a little ham. I would say hello to people in restaurants. So I sort of got comfortable and then, started training actually for the real Broadway experience.
Very few people get to do it at 9.
It's true, it's true. I was very lucky,
amazing.
and my parents worked out of the house, so luckily they could take me to my auditions, which not every kid had and so desperately wanted.
Yes, for sure. Now, tell us a little bit, because I'm sure everybody wants to know, what were those auditions for Glee like?
Oh, wow. I totally thought I didn't get it because I went in and I went on tape first. So I did the lines, and Tina didn't have a lot of lines in the pilot, so she just stuttered, and I stuttered a little, and that was about it. When I went to meet the actual creators, I had to sing, and I messed up the cut of the song that I had prepared. So I looked at the piano player, and I made it look like it was his fault. Which is the age-old trick, it's never your fault, right?
Right.
I went and, he was like, you might want to think of another cut for the song next time.
Oh, wow.
I was like, okay, thanks, bye, gotta go.
But obviously they liked you enough to bring you back,
it
do all
just
the other
goes
things.
to show that anything can happen, and if you're right for it, then you're right for it, and, leave it
But
at
you
the
really
door.
made that part your own, because you're right, it didn't start, your character was very shy at first and everything else.
Yeah,
and then
she was really shy. She had a fake stutter, which was fake. Her character faked on the show. And then, funny, her last name, Cohen Chang, came from the fact that my last name is Ushkowitz, and obviously I look 100% like an Ushkowitz, that they thought it was really funny to have Tina Cohen Chang, also an Asian Jew. So they decided to make it Cohen Chang with an Asian mom and a Jewish father.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Okay, so now you really felt like Glee was a family, correct?
100%. I mean, when you spend 14 hours a day, 5 days out of the week, for 10 months out of the year, and then go on a world tour, that's family. Those are the people you sleep, eat, breathe, see, wake up to, go to back next to. So absolutely, that was something I learned from theater as well as having a community. I always grew up with little families everywhere.
Right. Yeah, and you get very good at saying goodbye to people too. And you
Yeah.
feel like you're going to know them the rest of your life, the ones that you pick up along the way.
You see somebody you work on a show with for, 2 weeks, and then
Sure.
you see them 5 years later, and you give them the biggest hug, and you pick up right where you left off.
Exactly. There's something about that.
Yeah.
All right, so I know that you're very, you're very involved with something because you felt like you and your girlfriend both had these great adopted family experiences, but not every kid has that.
Yeah, it came out of this movie that I'm producing called Twinsters, which I'll tell you guys about in a second. But Samantha Futterman and I, we felt compelled by all the outreach of adoptees that came to us and said, I have a story to tell and I have nowhere to tell it. And I need support, I need help, I need a family. So we decided to create this community and strengthen the adoption community just by sort of supporting the already amazing standing organizations in place, as well as being the resource to say, okay, Kindred will be your first stop. Wherever you go, you come to us and we will show you the way. We'll say, this is an organization that you need to go to and visit, and this is the one that's gonna be right for you.
Were you surprised at how many people had not had a good experience?
I was, yes, I was surprised. I knew that there were a lot of adoptees because you get the question all the time, do you want to go meet your birth family?
Right.
Do you feel like something's missing? I never felt that. I always felt very loved, very supported, very accepted. But when all these adoptees started reaching out and saying, I did feel like something was missing, then it started to really hit, because then it becomes really personal and you're really connected to somebody who says, something has always been missing, and it's not that I wasn't loved.
Right, exactly. Because it's not just the people who might be looking for birth parents who weren't loved or didn't have incredible adopted parents
Something
or whatever.
that,
or you might feel like health issues, you know what I mean? You want to get the
100%,
whole profile.
which I still haven't even done yet, which I'm slightly curious about.
Right, things like
in due time.
Right.
But yeah, it's kind of shocking to see all these adoptees and have these stories, and that's what Kindred is about. Is you may have had not as quite a positive experience as us, and that's okay. We're not going to try and change your experience. We're not going to try and, tailor it. We're just going to say, we're here for you, we love you, and what can we do?
Right, absolutely. Well, first of all, she has such a strong Twitter presence. I mean, she has totally upped my game just by following her and having her tweet about me. She's upped my street cred for sure with my kids. I have a 19-year-old and a 21-year-old.
Amazing.
So, and everybody knows you.
Yeah.
So what do you think, what do you hope to see, not just in your own career, but in terms of things like this whole family feeling, especially through your movie, your documentary, and your your foundation?
I think it's just about connecting with people and coming together and realizing that family has no boundary. It extends farther than DNA. It extends to whoever you choose to bring into your little circle, whoever is going to enhance your life and make you the best person that you can be. So I think essentially, social media can be used for such positive, sort of connections.
Absolutely.
No,
it's so great that nowadays you've got all these venues.
Yeah.
You've got all these delivery systems to
connect with your fans, connect with people that you haven't seen in a long time, connect with family members, and and it connects. You and I
know, we're like
tweet
buddies
each other.
now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll see you in 5 years, and we'll be best friends.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
No,
absolutely.
It's great. All right, so any parting words, because I know that we have to go, but any parting words for everyone that you want people to know about the foundation or about Twinster? Tell us about Twinster real fast.
Twinsters is this. We're going to show the trailer in one of the theaters right after this. Actually, my co-founder, she found out that she was an identical twin, separated at birth and adopted, and one is French and one's American, and now they're reunited at 25 years old, starting this new life together. And I think that's sort of what we're here to say is anything is possible. We're here to support you, and I think we accept everybody, and we're all family.
Oh, so great. Thank you so much, Jen
Thank you.
Ushkowitz.
Thanks, Mary Lou.
Woohoo! Terrific.